Grand Energy is an Australian-listed company with trading code GGE, focusing on pure play helium exploration in the US. We are very pleasant to have the managing director of the company, Mr. Dan Lance, here to further discuss about the recent updates of its current focus project, Red project. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks for having us again, Steph. It's good to be here.
Likewise. Grand has previously entered into a binding earning agreement for acquiring working interest in Red Helium projects for up to 85%. As updated at the end of last year, Grand was holding 55% interest over the project. Excitedly, the company just announced that it has increased its working interest from 55% to 70%. As a part of the earning requirement, the first potential helium well, Jessie 1A at the Red project, has commenced its drilling in late April this year. So up to today, what kind of works have been completed at Jessie 1A?
Yeah, thanks, Steph. Well, first of all, we were thrilled to announce the Jessie discovery in June this year after the successful drilling of the Jessie 1A well to a depth of around a bit over 8,000 foot, targeting the Leadville Mississippian formation in southeast Utah. And we demonstrated a helium grade of up to 0.65%, and we believe there's some upside in that number too, and high virgin bottom hole pressures of around 2,300 PSI. And we're looking forward to be back in the field in mid-August to work over the well and hopefully unlock the value by flowing raw gas to surface. And if we step back and we look at the pre-drill gross prospective P50 resource estimate of the Red Helium project of around 10.8 billion cubic feet of helium, and just compare that to the annual helium market of around 6 billion cubic feet. So we're almost twice what is a multi-billion-dollar market. So it really is a significant discovery. And furthermore, we've already taken the learnings from the Jessie 1A well and incorporated that into the well engineering of future Red Helium wells to both de-risk the future wells and the production potential of those wells.
Beautiful. So as you said, the company has confirmed the helium discovery at Jessie 1A as announced. So how good is results compared to neighbours and peers?
Yeah, so first of all, we can talk about the helium grade. We're quite thrilled with the up to 0.65% helium. And as I said, we believe there's some evidence for some upside in that number as well. And we can compare that to our neighbour 15 miles away, which is our analogue as well. And that's the Doe Canyon, which is a prolific, proven producing helium field. And that has an average of around 0.4% helium. So we've exceeded that in our pre-drill estimates. And that field has an estimated ultimate recovery of around 3 to 5 billion cubic feet of helium. And we see the Red Helium project structural closure as around 4 to 5 times that helium field. We can also compare it to Exxon's LaBarge, which is responsible for about 20% of world supply and produces at about an average of 0.6% helium. So it really is a significant result. One thing to point out about this field and the play itself is we have deep, high pressure wells. So they really can be prolific wells. And an example is Doe Canyon producing it at an average of around 20 million cubic feet of raw gas per well. And that more than accounts, those high rate wells more than account for the grade of some of our peer exploration results. And looking at, say, a 20 million scuff well at around 0.5% helium, that's around 100,000 cubic feet of helium a day. And if you look at around a price of around $500 per 1,000 cubic feet, which is a reasonable wholesale raw crude helium price, that's around $50,000 a day, or a revenue stream of $18 million per year. So talking about that 10.8 billion cubic feet number, we think the Jessie 1A result on the back of a successful flow test, we'll be able to move a large portion of that into contingent resources. So it really is a significant result. Now the project has over 29,000 acres, and almost all those acres are prime prospective acres. So we have numerous drill locations on Jessie and the other mature independent prospects, which is significantly de-risked by the Jessie 1A result. And so if we consider the Jessie 1A to Lisbon project, which we previously discussed, that's only a few % of the potential Jessie prospect volumes. So we have a major asset play here. One other way to look at the project is to compare that number to a conventional gas discovery with more than 100-time price multiplier. We're looking at a potentially one comparable to a 1 TCF natural gas discovery. So once again, significant result.
That's great. So about the Jesse 1, its next plan, can you tell us a bit more details and how long do you expect being able to bring Jesse 1A into production? Also, will this help Grand Gulf to obtain further interest over the project?
Yeah, so as I said previously, we're looking to be back in the field with a workover rig in mid-August for a couple of weeks' work. And we're looking to work over the well to isolate and flow the gas column. Now, assuming we can get a good flow result, we could realistically have Jesse producing into the Paradox Lisbon plant within 6 months, because the Jesse 1A well is immediately adjacent to pipeline connected to that helium-hungry Lisbon Valley gas plant that's operated by Paradox Resources. And I won't go into too much, but as I said, we're thrilled with the Jesse 1A result. So it's fair to say we're actively looking at our lease position within the Red Helium project AMI.
As mentioned, Grand Gulf also defined other helium projects at the Red project. So any drilling or other work plans on those areas as well?
Yeah, well, first of all, we have to just acknowledge the large contiguous area and the size of the resource Jesse itself represents. So we have multiple appraisal and development locations that we're working up on Jesse. In conjunction with that, we also have 3 other mature independent prospects in the project AMI as well. So we're currently ranking and prioritizing the best drill location, and we're planning for a second Red Helium project well in Q3, Q4 this year. And we already have 1 approved permit drill location. And as I said, we're ranking numerous locations on Jesse and the other mature independent prospects, whilst also maturing the other leads and deeper running room in the portfolio as well.
Great. As previously announced, Grand Gulf has established a helium offtake partnership and strategic alliance at a very early stage. So along with the drilling and test work going, any new progressions regarding to this partnership?
Yeah, well, listen, I can just say we continue to be in close discussions with our offtake and strategic alliance partner, Paradox Resources, and we have advanced discussions for access to the pipeline to transport into the Paradox facility. So really we have all the midstream pieces in place or almost in place to produce helium, and we really just need to get a good fat gas flow to become a helium producer.
So about the helium market currently, can you give us an update on the current state of the helium market?
Yeah, so it's been dubbed helium shortage V4.0, and there's really no signs of it abating in the short to medium term. We've discussed this previously, but it's been driven by a few key events, one being the devastating fire at the Russian Amur plant, which was potentially able to produce up to 20 to 30% of global helium supply. The BLM US facility was off for 6 months this year. It's starting to come back on, but it's already heavily depleted. And then with Algeria diverting gas to the European market, that took a large chunk out of what's already a stressed system. And, it's showing that it really is a fragile support system. So there's no signs of it really rebalancing in the short term. And currently we have crude wholesale helium selling at $500 to $600 per 1,000 cubic feet. And there's evidence of high purity spot sales as high as $2,000 to $6,000 per cubic foot. So it really is a great time to be bringing on potential helium production.
On this background, can you help us to conclude what we can expect from Grand Gulf in the next about 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, well, potentially transitioning from a helium explorer to a helium producer. And that's really going to be driven by the Jesse 1A flow test and the second Red Helium well this year. And we're looking forward to keeping our shareholders informed as those events unfold. And it's an exciting time to follow the company.
Thank you, Dan, for updating and discussing this latest green news with us. We were looking forward to hearing more exciting progressions on the project and hope to see you again very soon.
Okay. Thanks a lot for your time, Steph.
Thank you.